Welcome to another edition of The Session with Londa and David. My name's David Austin.
I'm Londa Sherwood Austin. Welcome back.
I'm very frustrated by my hearing aids right now.
Oh, no.
Yes. They're playing my phone audio, not the world. So I'm having trouble hearing. It's very low because my phone is a camera for this podcast, and it's way over there. I don't like that at all. I don't care for that at all. Anyway, how are you today?
I'm on one today. I got lots of rants and raves, so stick around.
Okay, we're ranting. This is exciting.
And raving.
Okay.
We're ranting and raving.
I don't really know what that means, so I'm very excited to hear. Tell me all about it.
Well, I just think okay. Let's all take a moment and gather ourselves. I don't, okay. Okay. I used to think everyone's doing their best.
Yes.
All the time. Hey, come on now.
I think that's true.
Everybody's doing their best.
Everybody's trying their best.
Everybody's doing the best they can at any given moment. And now I think, are they?
Tell me more about that.
Are they?
What's making you say that?
I know that in every job, in every industry, there's ups and downs, and there's good and there's bad, and there's marvelous things, and there's things that make your eye twitch. And it's been a little stressful over here in the real estate world. A little exciting, a little stressful, a little disappointing, a little frustrating, a little, are you doing your best? A little bit of that.
Okay. Is there anything specific you'd like to talk about? Do you want to name names?
There's a lot of... I'll name names.
Okay.
I don't care.
What are you talking about specifically?
Well, there's a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even know where to start. Should I start with why are you wearing underwear in your profile picture on your social media?
Yes, and I'd like to know, is it a male or a female?
It's a female.
And she's wearing underwear on her profile? Yeah,
so I had a meeting today with someone who is in our world, and they said, "Oh, I got a friend request from so and so. Do you know that person?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know that person."
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Do they do much business?" I go, "I don't really think they do much business, but like they work at it."
Okay.
You know?
Uh-huh.
She goes, "Have you seen their profile picture?" No. Look.
Is this something we can look up here on the show? So
no.
Okay.
God, no. This is too small of a community. I say I name names, but it's a lie. I mean, I did in that meeting with her. We named all the names. But what? Okay, from that to, if I have one more person call me up, a real estate professional, and scream at me and curse at me and have a baby fit and throw up their emotions all over me and expect me to carry that and handle it and fix it for them.
Yeah.
What?
That's interesting. People relax around you more than they do me, and I don't know why that is.
And again, are you doing your best? Are you?
Yeah.
Was that your best? That was the best you had to give? Huh? I don't understand. The first time that a realtor called me and screamed me down, I was like 5 months in the business. And the next day I was in the office talking to my mentor, the great Joe Mullins.
Right.
And I said, "Joe, here's what happened. I've never been spoken to that way in a professional setting."
Right.
And he said, well, that's your mistake. You think everyone's professionals. They're not. They're not. I was shocked. You know, I'm always shocked when somebody is so unprofessional.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking to me, which has made me, and I mean, I have, just so you know, I have 10 more stories from just this last week that are just like that, that were more personal. The picture one was not my story, but you know, more that are just like shocking.
Yeah.
Like what? How did, I told you I'm on one today. We had clients that came into town for the day.
Mm-hmm.
One day and one day only. They're here for the day. We want to buy a house. We're coming into town. We want to see all these houses. We want to buy a house.
Right.
Great. Awesome. I'm so excited. They're pre-approved. They don't have a house to sell. It's going to be the easiest deal ever. I call. I text. Whatever it says in the listing. What the listing agent says.
To set up showings.
To set up showings.
Yes.
They say, do this to set up a showing.
Sure.
So I do. I call, I text, I use the system, whatever it is. One of them I just never heard back from. We talked on the phone, just for clarity's sake. We spoke on the phone about it. Yeah, I'll check with them. First he said, oh, well, I'm not sure they're going to want to do that because they're thinking about pausing showings.
Right.
Sorry, I'll be more on the ball. So thinking about pausing showings. Okay, you can't do that. You can't have a listing that's active on the market and deny showings. Hello?
Right.
You have a responsibility to your client. What the hell? Okay. So then they're like, well, I'll get back to you. Never did. 4 days later, I called again. Hey, this is, this afternoon, is that I'll let you know. Okay, so that was one. One of them, I texted. I'd like to show your listing at blah, blah, blah at 10 a.m.
Right.
On this day at 10 a.m.
Right out of the gate.
Oh, well, there's an open house on that property from 11 to 2. Can you show it during the open house instead? Okay. For those of you that don't do this business, let me explain. When you have somebody that you're showing several properties to, it's like the kind of mathematical equation that should be on the SATs.
Right.
Because the way that you have to figure out, okay, it has to make sense geographically.
Right.
Right. We're showing 8 properties over 3 cities. And it has to make sense geographically. So we like to kind of we put it on a map and then I move them around until they make sense in order of city and location and all that. Right. And then I have to go look up each one of the showing instructions and I have to think, okay, if I'm showing this house in West Richland at 10 a.m., and then it's going to take 15 or 20 minutes to show the house. And then the next showing is in Kennewick in Southridge. And so it's going to take 18 minutes to travel. And then so that showing has to be at 10:45. And then now you're stacking up 6 or 8 of these.
Right.
Okay. So it's crazy, right? That you do that. And then you have somebody that goes, oh, can you come during this time frame? So again, are they doing their best?
The part of this that's shocking is the house the clients.
Oh, that's what I'm getting to.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The house the clients actually bought.
Same floor plan.
Very similar. Not the same floor plan, but very similar.
Very similar.
And when I say very similar, the downstairs layout is identical. Different builder, different neighborhood, identical downstairs, right?
Let me tell you why that matters.
Nicer and newer. Here's why that does matter. You tell us why it matters.
It matters because here's what I had to do. I had to completely flip-flop the schedule of showings.
Right.
So the one that was going to be last was now first, and the one that was going to be first at 10 a.m. is now last at 2 p.m.
Right.
Okay? Right before the end of the open house.
Right.
Okay, so
and we had to book it to get there by the end of the open house.
We go, right here. They might have fallen in love. Ooh, this is a top contender. Then we go, we get to that last one. They don't even care anymore because they already fell in love with one that's so similar.
I think if they had seen that one first, it was the least expensive of all the homes we saw.
Yeah, most
if
affordable.
If they'd have seen it first, I think at the end of the day, we'd have gone back there to write an offer. I really, really do.
At the
but
end,
instead,
we went back to the other one and wrote an offer.
That's exactly right, because
they're under contract on that house.
They saw it first.
Yeah.
They didn't care that it was $150,000 more expensive.
Yeah.
They cared that it met their needs. And they really liked the interior design of the main floor.
Yeah.
Which was almost identical to the one that we wanted to see first.
And here's another thing. Like, the little things matter, right? So accommodating people when they're accommodating people. If you have customers of any kind, customers or clients, accommodate them to the very best of your ability.
Right.
Okay, here's the other thing, though, that really irritated our client. We get to that last house. We didn't tell them any of this, by the way. I didn't tell them because I don't like to throw people, like the other people, under the bus.
We didn't want there
I don't
to be
tell them, hey, guys, we were supposed to see this one first, but nah.
Right.
I'm trying to sell the house, right? So, but we get in the door. Hi, guys. The seller requires that you wear booties over your shoes.
Not a new home, by the way. A used home where people live.
Okay, listen, my dude. I get that it's a seller's call if they want shoes covered or shoes off or whatever. Our client was so pissed off because the booties wouldn't open. They wouldn't come apart. Like, if you're going to require that, make it as easy as possible for people coming in.
Yes.
They were rolled up. They hadn't been taken apart. So they come in, there's like 20 pair of these booties and they're all rolled up tight in a roll. They come from like Amazon or whatever. And then you have to pull them all apart.
Right.
So that you can get just two. And then you have to pry them open. They don't open really easily. So I have a bucket of them, new ones, used ones. And the new ones, I unroll them and open them up so it's not difficult for people.
Right.
Because we do from time to time have sellers who don't want people walking around in their house. That's fine, it's their call, but make it easy. Okay, so we get out of the house and he goes, and you I think pointed out how similar it was to the house they saw that they really liked, and he goes, I don't care, I was so pissed off at those booties I wouldn't buy that house.
I never want to see that house again. That's how pissed off he was.
Ooh.
And again, I don't understand why, if you've got a real life pre-approved buyer who wants to see your house, why you wouldn't try to move heaven and earth to make that work for them.
Well,
now, I've only been a licensed realtor and duly licensed lender. I've only been involved in real estate for 21 years. So I don't know why you would want to make someone
jump through all those hoops. Why would you make it harder for them to say yes? One of the houses that we viewed, I don't know if I should say this.
You can say it. Just don't say the address and the list agent.
Okay. Realtor owned. A realtor is selling this house. A licensed realtor in the state of Washington is selling this house, and it was filthy and beat up. And it needed to be freshened up. There was staging in it, but like the house was just beat to hell, and it was dirty. And it was being hosted.
Right.
It had somebody there because they were doing an open house that was starting in like 30 minutes or whatever. And so they were there, but they weren't like cleaning or anything. And our clients were the ones who said, wait, why is it so dirty? That was the first question. Why is it so dirty? And I said, well, not everybody is as thorough as we are when we list a house, and who knows what the circumstance is. Like, I try, but God, are you doing your best? Like, bring a broom.
Sure.
One house we went to see, the client said, I just want to power wash it. I want to power wash the exterior. It's so dirty.
That's the house they ended up buying, by the way.
It is, but so many objections.
And that house was realtor owned as well. 2 realtor owned houses.
3 of the houses we showed were either owned by a realtor or were listed by a realtor who is related to the seller.
Right. That's exactly right.
3 of the houses, and none of them made a good impression. And it was just interesting. It's just, it does. And then there was some other shit that happened this weekend that I was just like, I don't think people are doing their best anymore, David.
I still do. I still have hope, you know. I was listening to somebody today. It was actually Libertarian U.S. Senator Rand Paul, and he was talking about how he hears kids talking about how I don't ever want to raise kids in America, blah, 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 blah. 'Cause it's such a terrible time. And then he said, anybody who is in public service and a kid tells them that needs to tell them the truth. And he said, there has never been an easier time to be a person of color in the world than today. There has never been an easier time to be someone who's non-binary or gay. Never than today. Economics are great all around the world, better than they've ever been. There are less people living in poverty now than ever before in the history of the earth. And he just went on and on and on, refuting these things that people believe because their social media algorithm tells them the world's a terrible place. And you know, he's a libertarian.
What does that have to do with what I'm saying? I don't understand.
I still believe people are trying to do their best, and we need to look at the world with a positive lens. That's what I believe. I thought it was the greatest thing I've heard somebody say, because he had statistical facts that say there's less poverty worldwide than ever before. People are wealthier in this world right now than ever before in history. And it started with Joe Rogan saying to him, aren't you worried that AI is going to take jobs away? I thought that was a very interesting question. And Rand Paul said, every advancement we've ever had in the world has created jobs, not made them go away. Even automation has created jobs, not made them go away. People, when the sewing machine was made, talked about how seamstresses are going to disappear and the world economy is going to crumble. Well, actually, no, there's a lot more people operating sewing machines now than the few people that were actually making shirts without a sewing machine back then. Shirts now are $5 a pop at Target sometimes. You know what I mean? Because there's many more opportunities. Anyway, all I'm saying is there is so much good in the world that you can look toward, and the bad stuff that you're reading and hearing, it doesn't seem so bad. So the things you're talking about do paint a picture that people aren't trying their best. But I would submit to you, there are a couple isolated instances that have happened and have been highly emotional because it's involved you. That's all I'm saying. I don't think people are not trying to do their best. I don't. Everybody I know wants to be happy and have a good family and have a good life and provide for their kids. Everybody I know wants to do that. I don't know anyone who's actively self-sabotaging. I know people who are self-sabotaging, but they're not doing it on purpose. You know, we were talking.
Maybe it's because people are getting a little bit desperate. Maybe that's what it is. People in our industry, things are going very well for us, but I've talked to a few people recently that are like, it seems to be feast or famine. I talked to somebody and either they're doing really well or they're like starving right now.
Right.
And maybe it's that because, animals get hungry when there's only one dead carcass for the whole pack.
Right. That's exactly right.
And they get grumpy and they get, I had a realtor that texted me today and asked if I was, basically they wanted a report, a marketing report on a property that I have listed. Because the property I've listed, those clients are under contract to purchase a property they have listed, but it's contingent on the sale of a property I have listed.
Sure.
So she wanted basically a marketing report. What are you doing to market this property, essentially? But said, my clients want to know. My clients want to know if you're having open houses this weekend. My client wants to know if you this or that. Dude, just ask me. Don't. Your client wants to know. I said, your client wants to know about our marketing. Well, they're used to us. It was about the open house. They're used, and today's Tuesday, by the way. So if the open houses aren't scheduled yet, it's because it's Tuesday. But she said they're used to us holding open houses on their property every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. We've held open houses multiple weekends on the property. The weekends we didn't, there were showings, and the weekend we were out of town, we had somebody else do open houses. So please assure your client that we are doing everything both offline and online to sell this property.
Sure.
And then I said, then she asked me one more question. I said, did they want to list it? Ha 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 ha. I'm not laughing. What do you do? I would rather she had just called me and said, hey, I know you, because she does, and I know you're doing everything you can to market this property, but I'm super nervous about this and I'm getting freaked out. So just reassure me that I know you are, but tell me what you're doing. I would have respected that a lot more than, hey, my client wants to know if you're having an open house because they don't think you're working hard enough to sell this house. I don't eat if I don't sell houses.
Right.
I don't get paid. By the way, this client, they are like my kid to me. I would bleed for this client. You think I'm not trying to help? I need some good interactions with some people because this brain has had a lot of super negative, stressful interactions with people in our business over the last week.
Well, let me give you some perspective just so you can feel a little bit better.
Bring it on. I'm dying. It's like I'm dying of thirst and you're bringing me a glass of water. Go.
On Saturday, we wrote 2 offers.
Yes.
For 2 sets of clients. And on Sunday, Saturday night, one of them. On Saturday night, one of them was under contract, and on Sunday, the other was under contract. So Saturday was an awesome, fun day because we wrote 2 offers in the same day. That was very fun. But we spent an entire day with new clients.
That was fun.
Who were a referral from a friend.
And that was fun.
Of my business partner. And the best thing about it is we now have 2 new friends because they and we really hit it off.
Yes, that's true.
We are going to do exactly what I have said for years.
Keep it coming.
We do this business so we can positively impact more people so that we can grow our sphere and do more good. And we did that this weekend. So the stress you're feeling because of some other things that didn't pan out, you can set free like doves, like white doves into the air to fly away and go find happiness elsewhere because we are doing what we need to do. And that creates a ripple effect of positivity everywhere.
Yep.
Now, we can't control every single aspect of every single transaction. I wish we could.
Very true.
Boy, that'd be great if we could. But we can't. What we can do, though, is focus on the things we can control. And we can make sure the things we can control are seamless and happy for our clients. So that's what we're going to do. So there's the perspective. And I hope that makes you feel better.
I don't know.
If we focus on the things outside of our control, all it's going to do is cause anxiety. And anxiety is worthless unless it's caused by instinctual feelings of dread. If you feel that, then we need to do stuff about it because that is our base brain saying, help me, this ain't good. So listen to that. But don't listen to anxiety because of things you can't control.
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's the worst, man.
I had an inspector tell me today why the solar array on a roof was outside the norm and outside of code. And I was waiting until he finished telling me how terrible it was that the solar person put the solar panels all the way to the edge of the roof. And my only question from that entire conversation is there an entity that can make the buyer remove the solar panels because they don't have a 3-foot walkway? And he says, oh, absolutely not. Nobody cares about that. Well, then why did we just spend time talking about it?
Right.
Let's talk about things that are going to negatively impact the buyer. Is that? No, but it will negatively impact a guy who has to climb up on the roof. And for that, I say sorry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to focus on anything that's outside of our control. We just need to be focused on what we can control. And what is that? That is how we manage our clients' expectations. We can help impact the transaction positively by properly managing their expectations.
Which I do.
And if we do that, we will feel good all the time.
The problem is I internalize all the stress instead of passing it on to the client, right?
Right, yes. And that's a magic superpower that you have.
Well, it's going to put me in an early grave.
Okay, so what we need to talk to your therapist about is how we make you not internalize that stress.
I've been talking to my therapist about that for 30 years.
So what is your therapist? What are some tools your therapist is giving you to help not internalize that?
Managing stress is a really interesting thing, right? So people use all kinds of different outlets to manage stress, and I typically will use physical activity to manage my stress.
I know for sure I do.
Except I am a little bit limited right now, so I'm going to have to figure something out.
Can I ask you if some of your limitations, the mobility issues that you're having, could be related to you internalizing stress?
Well, it certainly doesn't help, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all a cycle.
It's
right?
all interconnected, as they say.
Yeah, for sure. And, I think,
how do we pump up your chi, get your chakras clear? What do we need to do?
Right. Yeah, I'm going to do some of that. You've got some places to be a little bit later, and I'll probably do some of that while you're gone. Some breathing techniques and some different things. I don't like that I can't move my body the way that I want to right now, just because I'm healing a few things, but which seems to always be the case. But yeah, I mean, I think focusing on gratitude is one way that I have always done that. Just looking at like, okay, all right. Clearly, my brain feels like everything is trash and everything is spinning out of control. So let's rein that in and go, okay, what is working?
Right.
What is going right? Like you kind of just did, right? Well, on Saturday we spent this with these clients, and now we have new friends and whatever. So you kind of did that, right? So focusing on that, right? Because what you, if you can bring your brain around, if you can harness your mind and bring it to a certain place, everything else follows, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I think that's the deal. But I stand on, I don't think everybody's doing their best anymore, honey. I don't think they are. I'm trying.
It's just like when somebody says, I really regret my choices that I made in my 20s because I was too harsh and I left jobs too soon and I did this and I did that. I'm not talking about anybody specific. That regret, that language.
Yeah, I'm familiar with regret.
If you think back, though, to the time that you made those decisions, you thought they were the right decisions at the time.
Sure.
So what are we regretting?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was a reason you wanted to get out of certain things earlier in your life.
Or into certain things.
Absolutely. So you did that. And, there's no reason to regret because at that moment you thought you were doing the right thing. And I suspect that these people that are falling down on the job a little bit
think they're doing
the right thing. And that is where I'm ending that.
There you go.
So, is there anything you want to add? We have 1 minute left in the show over the theme music.
I don't know that I should.
Want a tidbit? Okay, so next week we'll get off it. Next week we're going to do a coffee review that nobody asked for. And the reason we are is because somebody actually did ask for it. So we're going to do that on next week's program. I got a request for a new coffee place review. We're going to do that on next week's show. We're going to talk about the thing I wanted to talk about earlier, which is an article to sound more impressive in your sales conversations. I have that for next week.
Look at you.
In my hip
Look at
pocket.
you with a plan.
So we have a lot of stuff to talk about next week, and we're going to do it right here on the session with Londa and David. For Londa, Joanne, Sherwood, Austin, the prettiest girl in the world, I'm David Austin, and this has been The Session with Londa and David. See you next week.